Good evening and a warm welcome. You're watching CNN News 18. I'm Rehatul Siddiqui, and we are beginning the top of 5 with some breaking news that's coming in on the broadcast. Parivarvaad politics has snowballed yet again. Aam Aadmi Party has now waded into this entire controversy. Manish Sisodia has gone on to say that Dostvaad and Parivarvaad is currently eating India. He's added that if the Prime Minister wants to end corruption, he should get over with Dostvaad first. Now this comes after the Prime Minister's attack at Parivarvaad at a certain political party when he said that it is the one that is hampering India's growth.
परिवारवाद की बात करते हैं मोदी जी, लेकिन दोस्तवाद भी भारत को खाया जा रहा है। मिलके भारतवाद पे काम करना पड़ेगा। ना परिवारवाद से देश का भला होगा। आज आजादी की सालगिरह है। आज के दिन बहुत साफ मन से इस बात को मान लेना चाहिए कि ना परिवारवाद से देश का भला होगा। परिवारवाद ने भी देश को बेड़ागर्क किया है और दोस्तवाद से भी देश का बेड़ागर्क हो रहा है। मैंने अभी कुछ दिन पहले आप सबको बताया कि किस तरह से दोस्तवाद के चक्कर में पूरे देश की अर्थव्यवस्था डूब रही है। उनको दोस्तवाद से ऊपर उठना पड़ेगा, तभी करप्शन खत्म कर पाएंगे।
My colleague Siddhant Mishra now joins me on the phone line for more on this. Siddhant, now that the Prime Minister has, stirred a hornet's nest, so to speak, by actually going ahead and commenting on something what he called Parivarvaad, there is a Dostvaad argument to counter it, and Aam Aadmi Party at the forefront of it all.
Well, look, the political parties across the country are rattled. In fact, they are worried. Reason being, the way Uddhav Thackeray and his son lost power in Maharashtra. And in fact, today, Prime Minister making this statement from the ramparts of Red Fort gives out a very strong message. The message is the fight is not just political, but in future, BJP can, push this entire argument forward and can convince the voter that Parivarvaad is harmful for the country, for the politics. And in fact, Prime Minister mentioned it very clear that in these circumstances, a real talent, original talent goes waste. And this is perhaps the reason from Shiv Sena to Aam Aadmi Party and in fact the Congress Party, they all have been questioning the Prime Minister for using the ramparts of Red Fort to make political statement. But Prime Minister and the government feels and believes that this is not a political statement that Prime Minister has made. This is something which needs to be abolished. This setup needs to be condemned, and that is exactly what Prime Minister has done. Also, when opposition question BJP on Parivarvaad, they say Rajnath Singh's son is a MLA, Dushyant, son of Vasundhara Raje, is MLA. So all those questions are also being raised to BJP. But BJP's counter is that none of the dynast in BJP is a party president. None of the dynast in the BJP coming from a legacy is holding key portfolio in the party. So giving somebody a ticket, or giving somebody a post can be on a merit, but nobody is holding a party. Nobody has a control over the party, BJP or a state union. So this is the difference between BJP and the other party. So Prime Minister is very serious, and he has proven it once again. Before this, he has spoken about Parivarvaad and Dostvaad at political events, but this time around, him speaking this from the ramparts of Red Fort is giving out a clear message to the opposition parties, mainly led by the dynast, that Prime Minister and BJP is very clear in their head to convince the voter of this country not to vote for them because opposition parties promote Parivarvaad.
Absolutely. So now stay on with me. In fact, let's get our viewers a quick rewind and get them to listen to what exactly did the Prime Minister say while he was addressing the nation on the occasion of the 76th Independence Day that has really snowballed this entire controversy. And the word here underlined is Parivarvaad.
भाई भतीजावाद, परिवारवाद, भारत जैसे लोकतंत्र में जहां लोग गरीबी से जूझ रहे हैं, जब एक तरफ से देखते हैं एक तरफ वो लोग हैं जिनके पास रहने के लिए जगह नहीं है, दूसरी पर वो तरफ लोग हैं जिनको अपना चोरी किया हुआ माल रखने के लिए जगह नहीं है। ये स्थिति अच्छी नहीं है और इसलिए हमें भ्रष्टाचार के खिलाफ पूरी ताकत से लड़ना है। जो लोग पिछली सरकारों में बैंकों को लूट लूट करके भाग गए, उनकी संपत्तियां जब्त कर करके वापस लाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। और जब मैं भाई भतीजावाद, परिवारवाद की बात करता हूं तो लोगों को लगता है मैं सिर्फ राजनीतिक क्षेत्र की बात करता हूं। जी नहीं, दुर्भाग्य से राजनीतिक क्षेत्र की उस बुराई ने हिंदुस्तान की हर संस्थाओं में परिवारवाद को पोषित कर दिया है। परिवारवाद हमारी अनेक संस्थाओं को अपने में लपेटे हुए है और इसके कारण मेरे देश की टैलेंट को नुकसान होता है।
Siddhant, the Prime Minister clearly goes on to say that because of this dynastic politics or nepotism for that matter, it leads to corruption. And in fact, we are told that I've just lost Siddhant. We'll try and reconnect with him. But you were just listening to Prime Minister's speech from the ramparts of the Red Fort. He has openly targeted political party. And he has, of course, like Siddhant, my colleague, was mentioning earlier, this is a clear target, not just the Congress party, but also the Shiv Sena that was in power sometime back in Maharashtra till that entire upheaval really happened, spearheaded by Mr. Eknath Shinde. All of that is being targeted, and probably this is a snide remark that has been made by the Prime Minister. There are ample reactions that are coming in, the latest one being Manish Sisodia, who has reacted. Siddhant is back with me on the broadcast. Siddhant, for that Parivarvaad argument, there is the Dostvaad argument that has come back into the discourse. Of course, corruption is something that the Prime Minister underlines here, because we just played out, that sort of speech from the Red Fort there, where he addressed a nation on Independence Day today. However, there are reactions that continue to pour in, and the latest one being the Aam Aadmi Party.
Well, that's correct. And the fight is direct between Aam Aadmi Party and Bharatiya Janata Party. So look, today, even when Prime Minister is talking about Parivarvaad, and there is no one from Aam Aadmi Party who falls in that category, or for that matter, in the category of Dostvaad, because that party has come from activism, from doing Andolan. So there is no, but despite that, they are reacting to this statement of Prime Minister and questioning the BJP on Dostvaad. Now, time and again, opposition parties have been linking Bharatiya Janata Party with the two influential businessmen of the country. But the fact here remains that in last 7 years of Modi government's governance, there's not a single blot of corruption. There is not a single, corruption issue which opposition could manage to raise. In fact, in the run-up to 2019 election, Congress party made Rafale deal an issue which also had fallen flat, and in fact, the clean chit has come from the Supreme Court. So opposition parties have completely failed over the years to highlight any corruption that has taken place under Modi government's regime. And now, even if they say that there is Dostvaad in Modi government's regime, then that is something which needs to be proven. That is something which needs to be backed by certain evidence, proof, which opposition parties don't have. A. B, when Prime Minister makes this allegation that opposition parties are driven by parivars, then it is proven. We see this every day, that how a son of a politician becomes the party president. Even in Bihar, the situation is same. In Maharashtra, situation is same. Like, in fact, in every single state, a son takes over the legacy of the father. And Prime Minister and Bharatiya Janata Party's fight is against that kind of a setup. So, one cannot draw parallel between the two things. On one end, there is no corruption charge on BJP and Prime Minister's regime. On the other end, Parivarvaad is already proven. So no matter how much they call it a Dostvaad, or giving benefits to businessmen or the business community in the country, but the fact here remains that everything has been done in a very transparent manner. And in fact, the auctions that take place, or for that matter, the bidding takes place in the public domain. Right. So there is no proof that opposition parties have. But yes,